Picture this. It's 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. You just spent the last full day leading a massive reorg. You made calls on budgets worth millions of dollars. You navigated a conflict between your VP of sales and your VP of marketing. You were brilliant. You were decisive. And now you're standing in the middle of the grocery store, in the middle of the cereal aisle, and you're staring at a box of granola. And you just cannot, for the life of you, decide if you want the almond and vanilla or the honey oat. You feel paralyzed. You feel like your brain has turned to complete mush. And you think to yourself, I run a company, I manage a team of 25 people. Why is picking a breakfast cereal making my knees buckle? Sound dramatic? Perhaps. But it's also very real. If you feel like your brain is sharpest at 9 a.m., but by 4 o'clock you're struggling to even compose a simple 2-sentence email, it's not that you're losing your edge, nor is it, as we all tend to say, I'm getting old. You're dealing with a psychological phenomenon called decision fatigue. And you all may have heard decision fatigue thrown around in pop culture. But this concept was popularized by the social psychologist Roy Baumeister. His research revealed something quite interesting. Your willpower and your ability to make quality decisions, they aren't personality traits. They're a finite biological resource. If you are an executive, your decision tank is quite an important asset for you. And most of us are leaking decision fuel all day long without even noticing. We tend to manage our lives by our calendars. We look at our calendar and think to ourselves, I have a slot open at 4:30 p.m., I'll XYZ strategy then. But my true belief is that time management is dead. Energy management is the new game changer. You can have the time to do the work, but if you don't have the neural capacity to execute it, then you're just staring at a computer screen. The myth we tell ourselves is that we should be able to operate at 100% capacity from the moment that we wake up until the moment our head hits the pillow. But biologically, that's impossible. So instead of trying to force your brain to work when your tank is empty, we need to build protection around our decision-making energy. So in today's video, I'm going to share a 3-step decision defense system. These are hacks I use to protect my best thinking hours so I'm not spending my genius energy on the things that really don't matter. So step 1 of this system involves rethinking when you do your work. And we call this chronobiology alignment. I want to reference the work of Daniel Pink here. In his book, When, the Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing, he aggregates that a massive amount of data shows that human cognitive performance follows a very predictable pattern. We have a peak, a dip, and a recovery. And for about 75% of us, unless you truly are a night owl, our analytic capabilities, like the ability to focus, analyze data, make logical decisions, all of these things tend to peak in the late morning. But what do most of us do with that peak time? Think about it. If we start work at 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning, we have our coffee, we tend to open our inbox, we reply to those little pings, we approve reports. We take the most valuable, high-functioning hours of our day and we give them to low-value activities. So by the time we get to our real work, the strategy, the writing, the visioning, it's already 2 o'clock and we're in our dip. We're basically setting ourselves up for failure by operating like this. So here it is, the golden 90. For the first 90 minutes of your workday, you must forbid yourself from opening your emails, checking DMs, and pings. I want you to use that first 90 minutes solely for your most strategic tasks, your big rocks. When I started doing this, it was uncomfortable at first. I felt like not checking my email was ignoring people, but I realized I can get far more real work done in those 90 minutes than I used to get done in 8 hours of distracted multitasking. Protect your peak. Don't cheapen it and don't give it away for free. Next, we're going to talk about automating the mundane. So let's go back to the research by Roy Baumeister. Every decision that you make, no matter how small, they all burn the same decision fuel source. You spending time deciding what to wear in the morning? Fuel burned. Deciding what you want to eat for lunch? Fuel burned. Deciding whether to answer that text now or answer it later? Fuel burned. If you spend your most immediate units of energy on trivial things before you even get to work, you're already showing up half empty. This is why you see people like Steve Jobs and Barack Obama wearing the same suits every single day. It's not about fashion to them. It's about choice reduction. Choice reduction is refusing to spend your decision capital on things that don't really move the needle. Now, I'm not telling you to wear the same turtleneck and slacks every day, but I am telling you to protect your energy. I want you to try an activity that's called the uniform protocol. And I don't just mean your clothes, although if we all think back to our food service teen years, working at a McDonald's or a Taco Bell, having a uniform actually really does help. But that's beside the point. What I mean here is I want you to create a template for your routine. Try eating the same thing for breakfast every workday so that you don't have to browse the fridge in the morning. Maybe set a meeting schedule, such as only taking meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe you want to go to the gym at the same exact time every single day. Look, I know ritualizing your day may sound boring. I love variety and excitement just as much as the next person. But in your executive life, boring is far more effective than daily surprises. By making these mundane decisions in advance and making them only once, you free up the mental space for the problems that actually require your brilliance. Stop letting the small stuff steal your best brain power. Now, finally, I want to talk about stopping task switching. We love to tell ourselves that we're great multitaskers. I can be on a Zoom call and answer these emails at the same time. Let me tell you, friends, science clearly says no, you can't. There's a concept called attention residue, and this concept was coined by Dr. Leroy. Her research shows that when you switch from task to task, and then you try to go back to the first task, a part of your brain is still stuck on that second task. You essentially leave a task residue behind. If you're constantly toggling between meetings and people and strategy and deep work, you're living in a state of constant semi-distraction and you're fragmenting your intelligence. So the last technique I'm going to give you is batching, or what I like to call theme days. Instead of doing a little bit of everything every single day, I want you to group your decisions by the part of the brain that those activities utilize. Let me give you an example. For me, Mondays are no meeting days. It's a day for deep work. My brain stays in strategy mode and it doesn't have to switch into people mode. And Fridays for me are admin activities like bookkeeping, content planning, calendar adjusting, and reviewing my KPIs. And this keeps my mind in an admin task mode. So, by not forcing your brain to change gears every 30 minutes, you are reducing the friction and you're keeping your engine running smoothly. So, let me recap. You are paid for your judgment, not for your stamina. In order to protect that judgment, I want you to protect your peak by using the Golden 90. I want you to reduce the load by using the uniform protocol and stop the switching by batching your tasks. I say this with love and with only love. You do not need to work more hours. You need better hours. And I'm going to say that again. You do not need to work more hours. You only need better hours. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, Candace, that sounds great, but I just can't. I don't even know how to start resetting my rhythm. I got something for you. I created a free resource called the 5-Day Executive Energy Reset email series. It's not a heavy course. It's just one small tactical prompt delivered to your inbox for 5 days straight. And it's designed to help you reclaim your mental clarity without overwhelming your schedule. The link is right in the description box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And listen, your brain is your greatest asset. Treat it with the respect that it deserves. I'll see you all in the next video.